Hello and welcome to the Futro Hidden Movie Gems podcast. I'm your host, Ty Spiker Christensen. By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. We've got Jordan Christensen on the podcast.
What's her name? She's in, like, most of the Coen brothers movies. What's the lady?
Frances McDormand?
Yeah, the lady married to Denzel Washington.
Yeah, Frances McDormand.
Yeah, when
Do you not know that actress's name?
So when she was talking to Denzel, it was really funny because as soon as she was talking to him, she said, because you know how they speak, she's like, hark. And then all I could think about was the Lighthouse. Hark!
Or she thought of that movie.
Well, they speak pretty similarly.
No, this is definitely harder to understand.
Yeah, this is, 100% harder to understand. I had subtitles and I still was like racking my brain trying to understand what the heck was going on.
Jordan just sees a kid being thrown into fire. What's going on? Why would you do that? I don't get it. All right. And we've got Cameron Mickle on the podcast.
Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah. I know some of these words.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
That was Jordan throughout the whole movie. Yeah.
If there's anything I learned about this movie, it's, man, I was way smarter in high school when I can't believe I understood the plot of this movie and answered questions on quizzes and tests about this without having visuals. I'm like, I barely understood what was going on, and I had visuals.
Watching this now, I'm like, I hope they start showing this at school because I thought it was really good, I liked it. It's funny. All I could think of was the evil priest guy. Well, I don't know if he's evil. I guess he's kind of his own loose agent. Alex Hassel. He was translucent. You see him briefly. I was trying to recognize where I saw that actor from. He's translucent in The Boys. He gets blown up because they shove a keg of dynamite up his butt. That's him. You see him briefly before he blows up. That's him. It just made me laugh when I saw him. But anyway. Guys, today we're discussing The Tragedy of Macbeth. This movie came out in 2021, last year.
Also, talk about one of the hardest words in the English language to spell, or I just have Down syndrome with trying to spell tragedy. Goodness gracious. I put the D's and the G's in the wrong place so many times.
Tragedy. Actually makes sense. Yeah, you would think it would be tragedy.
Yeah.
Tragedy. No, you're an idiot, Cameron. Tragedy's pretty easy to spell. Sorry. No, it's funny. I can't spell the word college. I always thought college had a D in it. I'm an idiot. And I went to college for 4 years, and I always thought it had a D in it. College.
That's all right.
Why would I say college? It just should be colleague.
I still put
I
put two M's in tomorrow so many times that Siri gave up on me. Autocorrect gave up on me to where it corrects it to incorrect.
No, I agree with you. Why do I see the word abbreviated TMMR, right?
Yeah. And then it's
whatever.
TMOR or TMORROW, something like that. I'm like, who spelt this word?
Right? But do you not text tomorrow TMMR?
Yeah.
That's the way I do it. Tomorrow. But that's weird.
Well, with the W usually, tomorrow.
Wait, you do with the W? No, dude, I just do TMMR. Is that not the way everyone says tomorrow? Abbreviated shorthand?
No, we're sidetracked.
That's very important that we get to the bottom of this.
Well,
because you know what really annoys me? When people say thank you and they just text TY. They just say Ty. And it's very upsetting to me. I've seen people just text Ty and I'm like, what? And they're like, oh, thank you. And I'm like, oh, of course. Folks, today, this movie, directed by Joel Coen. You may know him as one of, or I guess the one half of my top 10 directors of all time. So I was going to say, it's not, his brother wasn't a part of it, but who cares? Joel Coen. This movie is so good. Holy cow. Now I understand why Macbeth is talked about in school. Like greed, wealth, the lust for power. It's so good. So let's get into a quick plot synopsis. If anyone doesn't know the Macbeth play, you probably heard this back in 5th grade.
Or doesn't remember because you didn't pay attention in sophomore English.
Yeah. A Scottish lord becomes convinced by a trio of witches that he will become the next king of Scotland. And his ambitious wife supports him in his plans of seizing power.
I don't remember the story in high school or any grade. I remember Romeo and Juliet. We even did a Midsummer Night's Dream as a class.
I didn't do that.
I did Macbeth in 7th grade, so you might have missed it if you were going to dumb school. And then when mom and dad saw the light and put you into a private school.
Yeah, dumb public school.
And I remember Homer and the Iliad and the Odyssey.
Yeah. I remember that ish.
Did anyone do Fallen Angels, the Vietnam one? That one was depressing as shit.
No, we did
dude.
Night by Elie Wiesel, like the Nazi concentration camp survivor.
I did the Bell Jar, in which Sylvia Plath, the author, I think it's Sylvia Plath. Don't quote me on that. It might not be. I think it is Sylvia. She killed herself, baked herself in an oven.
Oh my
Isn't that
gosh.
insane? The book is insane because it's like women and all this weird stuff in it, and I'm like, in high school.
Did you do The Catcher in the Rye? The one that supposedly
that was what I never did.
One guy to shoot John Lennon?
I never did Catcher in the Rye.
That book is wild.
Never did Mice of Men. And technically I didn't do Lord of the Flies, but I do know it. And I think I saw the movie or
We
something.
did The Greatest Game, I think. Maybe.
The Greatest Game. Did that one.
I didn't do that.
Well, I did the short... It's a short story, right?
Yeah.
You guys went to Wisconsin high school. That's where they're raised.
Jeez.
I think me and my boys would have an issue with that, Cameron. We'll come and break your legs, run you over with our tractor, bring your tractor to school day. Would disagree with you.
Any school that has teachers drinking with students is top tier education right there.
Dude, it's better that the teachers drink with them than them get it illegally and harm themselves.
Wanna
You got a crazy backwards down, dude.
And some lore behind this. It's kind of cool. I just talked to Tatiana's mom about this, and she said that apparently, like, it's a big thing to not say the words Macbeth on the stage when you're performing, because it's like apparently somebody had said it and like 2 people had died, and so there's this superstition, like you're not allowed to say those words on stage.
You call it like the Scottish play or some shows.
Yeah.
Oh, weird. You know, I heard something similar. It was like it's one of those really realistic Christ reenactments where Judas the actor Judas portrays Christ, and like the actual actor killed himself, like committed suicide, because again in the play he does it. Judas kills himself after he betrays Jesus, but the actor playing Judas, like, you know, just becoming a method actor, decided to hang himself, you know. So I mean, eat your heart out, you know, Jared Leto and Daniel Day-Lewis, because they haven't really gone that far into method acting, and I'd like to see him do the world a favor and really go that far.
Oh my gosh.
I really want to see him push this.
Look at the Joker. I mean, you don't want to go too far.
I hope
Ledger.
they just go that far.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, shoot. Heath Ledger did it. That's right. Holy crap. But he was already doing another movie, and it was because of an overdose. It had nothing... Well, maybe it had to do with his depression, but... All Hollywoods are junkies. You junkie. Junkie Hollywood people. Except Denzel. My boy Denzel is acting. Holy
This reminded me of Training Day. Like...
This made me... I was like, why is he better? Why did I have Will Smith on my list? He's gone. After watching this movie, Will Smith is not my top 10 actors anymore. Denzel Washington is.
I know.
And
I was
his
thinking
son,
of
J.D.
dropping out
Washington.
Bruce
They're
Willis for
amazing.
him.
That's what's hard for me is I think Denzel.
They're so good.
Denzel is a top 10 actor, but like I don't love the movies he's in. Like
You don't love Training Day?
Will you let me finish, you monkey?
My
Oh my
nugget.
That movie,
Liar!
like
Liar!
that's like the only movie I like. I love him in every movie he's in, but that's the only movie of his that I love. All his other movies,
I
I'm
agree
like,
with that. Have you seen much about Doing Nothing? I was going to say, it's kind of fun that he's come back to Shakespeare again.
Yes. I was actually going to mention that.
Yes.
But I know, it's like the only thing I was missing in this movie is Michael Keaton.
Yes.
I don't know where he'd fit in it, and because he can bring that level of intensity. I would have loved it if they had a role for him. But again, I mean,
well, that one
this
guy
is
that the
great.
Coen brothers keep bringing in all their movies, he was in the hallway acting all like
the crazy guy, the drunkard,
Yes, yeah.
the crazy eyed Joe from. Yeah, he's in every single one of their things, dude. It's crazy. The stapler guy from Office Space.
Yeah.
That's what I know him as. He's that guy. He's
Scott Sabino or Subiano.
crazy eyed guy. I'll check. Let me check because I never remember his name. Oh yeah, Mad Eye Moody was in this. I forgot that.
Yeah, he's the king.
Oh, yeah.
And Dudley.
Well,
Dudley
and
was in it.
Yeah, and
he
he's
was
standing
in
right
it.
next to him. I was like, the Harry Potter team's back together again.
No way.
No,
Dud-
Stephen
oh,
Root.
yeah.
Stephen Root, Jordan or Cameron. Stephen Root is the character we're talking about.
But Dudley was also in their last movie, Ty, on Netflix.
yes, he was in that.
Oh,
Buster
you're talking
Scruggs.
about
Yes,
the
he was
guy
the
from
limbless
Get
guy.
Out, the blind man from Get Out.
Yes, the crazy-eyed man. He's crazy-eyed in every single movie he's in. So.
He kind of is. Pan
Guy's
shot.
crazy. Hand shot. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, he was that guy.
I just learned that James Franco got canceled. I didn't know that.
Wait, why did James Franco get canceled?
Jordan. Well, he uses his power to How's that for?
Apparently, all men do in Hollywood, I guess, and now they're all coming forward. So,
well, it's a little funny because it's like he. So the way I heard it, and I don't know anything about it, but it kind of made me laugh. He'd be like, "If you date me, I know people that could get you like a role in Hollywood." I don't know why I find that really funny, because it's like you didn't force any. Again, this is crazy. This is gonna be super controversial, but I'm just saying, all the women that date these scumbags, I love the idea. They're like, "Oh, he used me." I'm like, "It's a free country. Go date the next idiot." You're like, I'm just saying, whatever.
I'm glad you love this movie, Ty, because both me and Cameron like you said, great acting. It's got
amazing
You didn't like it?
cinematography.
No,
You guys didn't like this movie.
I fell asleep.
hate
And then
What's the matter with you two?
I'm so uncultured. I tried so hard to like enjoy this.
I know. I turned on the subtitles.
I gave it a
seven.
I gave it a 7 out of 10 just because of the amazing acting, amazing cinematography.
This is a 9 out of 10, if not a perfect movie. You guys are so stupid.
Of
Oh
all
my
Coen
gosh.
Brothers movies, it's probably next to the Hudsucker Proxy.
I don't even know the Hudsucker Proxy is, but
It's one of
this
their
is better
movies.
than that. It's better than Inside Llewyn Davis. It's better than
Stop.
It's better than A Serious Man, and it's better
maybe.
than I don't know. It's right between. Let's
It's at the
see.
bottom for me. I'm sorry.
It's like right there at Fargo.
No,
It's like maybe just
You're
below
no,
Fargo.
Fargo.
It's
The
it's-
Big Lebowski
it's-
are like a mile above it.
It's cooler than Lebowski, but it's not funnier than Lebowski. That's a hard one. That's
Yeah,
so
you're
out
ranking
there.
like dark comedy next
Yeah,
to.
like I mean, it goes No Country for Old Men, and then like maybe Oh Brother Where Art Thou. If
Inside
not,
Llewyn Davis is first.
I mean, that is a great movie. I'm just saying, but I don't know. Tragedy of Macbeth. Maybe it's recency bias, but guys, this is an amazing. This gave me like a renewed sense of love. I'm like, I'm going to recommend this to everyone. Spoiler alert: I'm recommending this on the podcast. I think everyone should see this. In fact, I hope schools like push this movie and have kids watch this instead of suffer through reading the book. This is
or
way better than
watching
the
the
book.
Romeo and Juliet with
It's the play.
Leonardo DiCaprio. Okay, wait. I was curious, of all the adaptations, which one's your favorite? You know what I just learned is The King apparently is an adaptation from one of Shakespeare's stories. I did not know that. I looked it up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I should have mentioned that on the podcast.
Well, there's a lot of similarities to that and the story, which is one of the reasons I loved it, because after doing The King, I've been like on this search to find like I think I love this whole Scottish and England Empire. I think it's so exciting. I love the tyranny in Europe. I love the Crusades. It's just such a crazy time. And holy cow!
Are you getting
my
excited
man
for that
fighting?
Viking movie?
Yes,
with
yes.
Robert
Robert
Eggers?
Eggers. I'm very excited to see his Viking movie. And I don't even watch the shows. Like, I know there's Viking shows like everywhere. They're all over the place, but I don't watch any of them. But
Yeah.
It's the movies that I really enjoy. I really do. So anyway, very faithful adaptation to Macbeth. First off, right offhand, I wanted to mention that. This is really good. This is like, the way they speak is like, it's almost like watching the Bible videos. You know, the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints puts out. They're like, it's like a modern day, like very, or like even like The Chosen almost, but like they deliver the lines into where it doesn't feel like, oh, I'm a thespian and I deliver my lines this way. Here is a podcast. This is what I think. It's like, it's just like very real. They're talking almost undiscernibly to me. Like, I understand like half the words that they're saying.
Yeah,
But I
exactly. I
understand
think-
everything through context.
Why couldn't they've written it more like She's the
No,
Man
no,
or
no,
10
no.
Things I Hate About You?
Yes,
So good.
write it in American English, not effing that ish.
It
Holy
is
shit.
English. It's old
No,
English,
it's not
dude.
American English, bro. That is England English.
We have so little vocabulary. Like on
Oh,
this
I'm
podcast
very aware.
alone, if you could speak like to a chimp, you could understand every single word that we've said on this podcast. Like, we have like
I love
lost touch with like our smarter selves in the past.
The
Like,
people
our
that
ancestors could
commented on our
speak.
video, Ty,
It suck.
it suck. Instead of it
Thank
sucks,
you,
just-
commenter.
it
Love
suck.
you. We have a comment on one of our videos, and it said "it suck," and I could not agree more.
What
I could
movie-
not agree
what
more.
movie was
Keep
it?
it coming, dude. Love the comments.
Born-
Just keep coming, dude.
What movie
Comment
was
on
it?
every video.
Born Identity.
That's
Just keep it coming, dude.
It sucks.
Which is so mean, because Kevin was our guest there. They should know better to insult Kevin like that. But we
love that
do
you
our
would.
best on the podcast.
You're just like, they're mad at Kevin, not me, you know.
We do our best on the podcast. We don't want our guests to feel ashamed. But,
So when they say
we hear
it,
you,
they're just
listeners.
referring to Kevin, huh?
Kevin sucked. It is his fault that we got a bad review. So Keep them coming, guys, because you don't realize your hatred and
Fuels Ty.
unfulfillment, it just keeps me going. It wakes me up in the morning, dude. I love it. I'll do better. I gotta do better. I gotta do more. So I'm trying, folks. Anyway, so this movie, you guys, let's get into what was it like watching it for the first time, rewatching it for the podcast. I will be rewatching it tonight for the second time, but I've only seen this movie once. Absolutely love this movie. I was so enamored by the performances and the dialogue. I just got really excited, being like, do I like Shakespearean plays? I guess I do, when they're not corny and they're really beautiful and they're black and white, especially black and white. Love that part about it. Jordan, what about you? Seeing it for the first time, rewatching for the pod.
Yeah, like you said, so there's moments where I was like so engaged and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is really crazy. And then other moments I fell asleep. And I went to a play recently with my wife that was also a Shakespeare play. I don't even know the name of it, but it was just like, I had no idea what was going on. And halfway through, my wife's like, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, oh, thank you. And so we walked out because I just...
I don't understand what's going on. Who are you? What's my name?
I literally could not tell. I mean, I couldn't tell you. Somebody asked me, what was that about? I'd be like, I have no idea. Like this one, at least like... I saw somebody stab somebody, so I'm like, oh, he's trying to kill him, you know? And then like this whole plan that they devised together. And like you said, when they threw the kid over the ledge, I was like, holy crap, what is going on? And by the end, I said, I started to fall asleep. But
that's hilarious.
But it's not without to say, it's really well made.
Let me just make the caveat. I had no idea what this movie's about, but it's a good movie. Cameron, how about you, dude? What are your two? What was it like watching it for the first time, rewatching it for the pod?
So I am also uncultured, and when I watched this, I was struggling so hard to understand what the fudge is going on. I was like super intrigued in the beginning, and then as soon as it got like super dialogue heavy, I was just like, this is not English. I felt like I was just like, what is happening? But I mean, the performances are insane, and I thought the overall like tone was good. But the overall viewing was fun. I was talking to Jordan. I was excited to come onto the pod because like I appreciate it, but I want to understand and like appreciate it more.
Yeah, Ty, help us. We're swine.
Okay, so I'll tell you some of my favorite things. One, let's just talk about pride, rage, revenge, all these themes, right? I love like a thirsty quest for power. I think it is so exciting. Watching Macbeth, like for all we know, he's like a really good guy. He was a good soldier. He's brave. He comes back, and then these three witches incite this whole thing, and they're like, hey, you're going to become rich and famous someday. Basically, I mean, you're going to be the king. And he's like, wait, what about Cawdor? What about all these other people? And they're like, you will be the one to usurp the power. And he's just like, okay, cool, cool, man. Like, that's kind of cool. It's like somebody's telling you, it's like opening a fortune cookie, and they're like, hey, money and riches are around the corner. And you're like, oh my gosh.
A fortune cookie from the movie It, and they're like, creepy witch coming out of it.
Witches coming. Speak, old crone. Wherefore, what is mine?
I will say her, like, she was like Smeagol, like all like bent over and like contorting her body.
The witch, she was great.
And then when she was standing at the lake, and you see the two more like shadows in the lake.
It's someone named Catherine Hunter, and I want to know more about her. Witches.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
She
Catherine
was crazy.
Hunter, she contorting her body and everything. I look at her.
So uncomfortable.
It looks like she's known. She was in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. How about that? Do you remember that? Who was she?
Yeah,
in the Order of the
I think
Phoenix?
she's the old
Arabella Figg. I don't know.
Remember, I think she's the woman in charge of taking care of Harry on his street or whatever. Remember the one that's like on his street?
Come on,
like Dumbledore he takes the light out of her thing.
This is Arabella Figg. It could be because yeah, you know what? Well, no, because Order of the Phoenix. That's the fifth one.
Yeah, but remember, he's like I don't remember.
Is there someone looking after him on the fifth? Oh, is that the girl that appears after the Dementors, right, or whatever?
Yeah. I think that's her.
Yeah. Wait, does a girl appear after the Dementors?
I can't believe I checked. Yeah. Man, I can't believe I just remembered that. Holy shit, I'm smart.
Maybe she was like the one at the ministry
I'm
that was
smart,
like
but I can't
secret
understand
spy.
Shakespeare. You win some, you lose some.
So
remembers where this lady is from without even any hesitation, but can't understand English.
So here's the thing. Like, I love movies where greed gets the better of someone, and So Denzel Washington comes home, tells
Like the
about
Wolf of
this,
Wall Street.
which he tells Frances McDormand, his wife, Lady Macbeth,
it
about,
comes at night, and if you don't think that it was lust and greed, then it went over your head.
Yeah, you'd really be missing out on the movie, and it's not very fun if it's not that. But yeah, this is a lot like the King David story, where he comes home after being a good soldier, and Frances McDormand hears about this witch's tale, and she's like, well, we could do the deed here. We could kill him, the king. We could kill Duncan, and then if he's gone, woohoo, you could become the next heir. Because, like, if it happens, obviously there's still his son. I believe it's his son, right? Malcolm, who's Dudley. I'm trying to keep it straight. So you have... Which is funny that you have the two characters from Harry Potter that are related, right? Mad-Eye Moody and Dudley. I just think that's funny. I don't know why. It's not funny, but it's
I feel
cool.
like this is the movie that you would go off and make alone without me, because I'd be like, I'd look at the script and be like, I'm good.
I don't understand it. Could we change some of the language to be like, dude, and like...
I am Ethan Coen here, and I'm just like, I'm not interested.
Dude, this was a success. This is a home run, dude. Guys, everything... I could keep gushing. I want you guys to get into your favorite things, and I will tell you why you're right and what's so good about it. So, how about you, Cameron? Why don't you start with your two favorite things from this movie?
I mean, yeah, just kind of that's already been mentioned. Just like the visuals, I thought were so amazing. Like
and simple. I felt like very unloaded.
Oh,
Michael
yeah.
Bay needs to sit down and be forced to watch this movie, even if his eyes are like taped open, like Clockwork Orange.
He'd probably be
Watch
so
it
bored.
and be like, no, he'll be like, wow, less is more. He might just admit it, and less is more in this. But holy crap, Cameron, keep going. Visuals.
But Ty, it really is the little things.
It's the little things.
It's a yacht, airplane.
Who is that?
Michael Bay, that was the end quote on Pain and Gain, and the guy's sitting out on a dock, and there's like a yacht going by, and there's like...
Yeah. He's like, it's the little things, and there's...
It's the little
I hated
things.
that movie.
It's this crazy,
But yeah, so I think the visuals just did a really good job, especially because I feel like kind of like you guys are talking about, like, less is more. Especially, I feel like older, like, we kind of in our lives have like very fancy, like so many things on walls and stuff like that, and I just feel like they just did such a good job at just creating and setting the scene, which I think is really good, especially for a play or a movie adapted from a play. I think setting the scene is probably one of the most important things, because there's like a lot of things that we can't see as well sometimes, which I think they did a really good job with just the visuals, and like super satisfying to look at, like the hallways.
And now that you say that, it kind of felt like a play, didn't it? Like all the sets felt like you were in a stage.
This is adapted from a Shakespearean play.
Well, I know, but it's a choice, though, to make everything look like a play. Like Princess Bride, everything looks like it's a set.
Yes. And if you want to do a movie, an adaptation, well, just look no further. This movie does an amazing job at being faithful to the adaptation, and yet still using the visual medium of movie making, which makes it really cool. Like, this is unlike any movie I've seen in the last 2 years, which is why I'll remember it long after I've watched it, and I keep thinking about it and coming back to it.
You're probably going to actually like The French Dispatch. Oh, it's so boring.
No, actually, you know what's funny? I totally agree with Red Letter Media. I am so fetching done with Wes Anderson. He better direct a horror movie or do something else. Like even James Wan is taking chances by doing that crazy ninja fighting. What's it called? No, what's the one where it's living in the back of her head? That's a spoiler. Sorry, but it's the knife one. What is it called? What's it called? It's the one where it's just came out. James Wan just came out with the movie. What was it called?
He did? I didn't know that.
It's like pretty bad, but he went there, you know? Jeez, I'll look it up. You
Malignant?
Morons. Malignant. Thank you. Yeah,
I just said that a minute ago.
Oh, I heard you say
yeah, Malignant? And then you're like
squirrel.
And you're like,
sounded
no?
like the squirrel from I thought you were quoting the squirrel from Emperor's New Groove. That's what you sounded like to me.
Okay,
I'm so
but
confused. Okay, I didn't understand what you said.
Sorry. And please don't spoil it
James
anymore.
Wan.
I haven't seen it. Don't say anything.
I haven't seen it either. But what my point is, he's still going for it, right? While you have Wes Anderson, who literally does the same thing every time. I'm so sick and tired. Like, is there any difference from the French Dispatch from the Budapest Hotel? Are they not the same movie?
Can I get
they're not.
Can I get to my second favorite thing?
You should. New movie is visually beautiful. We should force Wes Anderson to sit next to Michael Bay and watch this movie and be like, less is more. This was more visually appealing than any of Wes Anderson's films. Just saying. Love it. Less is more.
I think my second favorite thing is I just think they did a really good job of just keeping that like the tone of just kind of that eerie tone through sound.
Yeah, it's
and
like
then
all
also the
foggy.
visual. Yeah, and like I felt like like the music and stuff like that. A lot of times the silence was like super powerful, but then at the same time like the like the beats of like the drums sometimes would just make me like so on edge, and I was like, oh freak. Especially when the girl was like contorting her body, I was like, what the fudge is happening, bro?
Brilliant. Brilliant. Jordan, how about you? Two of your favorite things.
Going off of what Cameron said, like there's a few moments in this that I just want to say how much I absolutely love them. And one of those was the whole visual of the water filling the room, and then him like looking into the water and seeing that face talk to him. Like, oh, goodness gracious, was that so eerie? But it was such a cool set. And then the water like reversing and like dissipating. Like, I just wonder if they actually filled water into that room or if it was CGI, but it looked really well made and done. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. There.
So realistic.
I like that sound you made. Oh, you make the seven dwarfs proud.
Yeah, well, seriously.
Oh. That's funny. I totally agree.
And then I also like him tripping out and like seeing, and I imagine the crow that was in the building was the witch lady, was it not? Because he saw, remember he kept seeing he's like, I just saw him run through the hallway. Like, I love that he's tripping out and he thinks
It had to have been her torturing him. Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been her, but also I don't know if that was necessarily her. Like, I think it could have just been the tormented of a soul that literally committed an innocent murder, you know? But again, I actually find it interesting that you guys think it is the witch. I didn't
well, it was a crow, though, that was in there.
I think and I think it's one of those things where I think is super cool of like, that's why I think time travel is one of the most interesting topics. It's like, as soon as you tell someone their future, it changes their future actions to fulfill that. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. And this is like a perfect example of that.
Have you seen that movie yet? Time Lapse,
which is
Cameron?
funny that you literally mentioned that. Oh, did you watch Time Lapse?
I need to watch that.
Okay, sorry,
No,
that's literally what you were just saying.
But that's
I know.
every time travel movie where it's clandestiny or manifest destiny or like predisposition or foreordination, whatever you want to call it. You know, you can't change your fate. You are destined to repeat the mistakes.
It's only Time Lapse, okay?
No,
You're like,
it's
that's every time.
It is every single time. But what are you talking about?
No, the one that does it best is Project Almanac.
I knew you were going to say that movie, Cameron. I was going to say every single time the movie deals with it, right? It's like, can you change the past?
And become popular in high school.
And great movie, yeah. And use the tool of time travel to become popular.
They don't even become popular.
Technically,
so dumb.
you know what? Let's be real.
She does it for a
I
girl.
joked. It was literally to get revenge and be a to somebody else. It wasn't even to become popular. It was just like, let me get back at my bully. It's like, you can do this without time travel. You can stand up to your bully without time travel.
And him pass a test. And him pass a test.
And pass the test. You
Yeah,
can at least
remember?
pass your classes. Or you
Use
could be
time
Bill and
travel to
Ted
pass.
and put a trash can on someone's head. You know, rig a whole contraption where a garbage can appears out of nowhere. Amazing. Anyway, guys, so I love what you guys were saying. I totally
Trash
agree.
can!
Remember trash can. Jordan, how about you? Did you say your second favorite thing yet?
Yeah, it was him saying, like, because I love the idea, it like somebody does something absolutely inhuman, and then it just like starts to eat away at him so much where he's like seeing the person he killed.
Yeah, they're entertaining all these guests, and he's like yelling about
They show
this.
that really well. They like in Fargo, they do that really well. You see like it just tear at people who like have committed the crimes, especially the people who aren't criminals. Like you just see them start to just like tear at the seams.
Cracking, dude. Yep, just cracking. Dude, he's cracking. Okay, I love a woman that's like, hey, you got to do this for us, honey. You love me, right? And just like a Black Widow, right? Like just sewing her web, biding her time, and then she's going to eat her husband's freaking face off, you know? Like she was like, yeah, this is a good thing. Be brave. And then she's like, you didn't even commit the murder properly. You didn't leave the murder weapons by them. Like, let me take care of it. When she takes the knives and goes back to the room, throws the knives in the room, like she was like all on board, dude.
Well, and
It's
why
crazy.
didn't she want him to kill the guys up there? Did she need them to testify? I thought that was a bad...
I think she needed them to. Yeah, I think she needed them to wake up, and they supposedly, I guess they would have thought, oh, we.
They
killed our
needed to
king
look
in our
like they
drunken
killed
state.
him. Yes.
Yeah.
And the fact that he killed them left no witnesses, so it kind of made him look
Yes,
guilty.
and at the end, they're like, we could have
he was
questioned him, and he
stupid.
literally threw him down. He's like, sorry, I killed him because I was so upset. And you're like, maybe because he saw you commit the murder?
Yeah.
But again, it's clever because, again, he plays it off like, no, I mean, who else was so disappointed at this news? Oh, am I going to become king now? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then
who
he
could have
talks about,
seen
like,
this?
he talks about how no man could like hold themselves under control if they were truly loyal, and I'm like,
Yes.
that's a whole lot of bullcrap.
See, that's why I love this movie, because again, he says all the things. Like, this is like a
See,
classic
I know some of these
court
words,
case.
Ty. I understood some lines.
Yeah, you understood the motivations and everything, right? So I love that, like the obsession with greed. And then like I love that Denzel Washington, Macbeth struggles with it, and then Lady Macbeth pumps him up. Like again, she's like the hype man, you know? She's like, oh, hey, it's okay. Like this is a good thing. You're gonna become king. You just have to put on a happy face while we entertain all these guests. And then like he like sees visions of the guy he murdered, right? Or it was it wasn't the king, the Duncan, but it was the other guy, Banquo, that he had murdered, right? He leaves with his son. He had amazing eyebrows in this movie, by the way. Just great
The
eyebrows.
eyebrow game, and there was also some eyebrow acting later in the movie where I'm like, is this person, maybe the Coen brothers are like Tarantino with like eyebrow or something.
I love it. And Fleance, right, his son. And so when he has him to go get murdered, I love that, because again, he was worried because he too saw what the witches had said.
Eyebrows.
So he was like, wow, the witches predicted this. And it's like, it's almost as if like Macbeth did it himself so he could become king. And then it's like sends him and his son to be murdered. It's terrifying. And they nearly, they get away,
Classic
but
true
then
friend.
Ross playing the triple agent, dude, he comes back, he spares the boy's life, which I love. Fleance, fly! So great, by the way. So good that he spares his life, but then he's haunted, right? Macbeth is like trying to entertain dinner guests, and he's having like visions of like the person he killed, and then he's like fighting with him. He's like, oh, get out of my house. And he's like fighting with a crow, and everyone's like, what's wrong with the king? He's like, oh, he just has like this mild mental illness. It's nothing. It's just trifle. It's not a big deal. It's like, what? I mean, it's like watching people like Joe Biden, like mental decay. Like you're like, this guy holds the nuclear launch codes. We're gonna give him the presidency. Like this guy's crazy. Denzel Washington is losing his mind, and everyone's like, oh, it's okay. It's not a big deal. He's just, honey, get your shit together. It's like so good. Like she's like yelling at him, like, okay, and he's just like, I'm losing my mind. And then the next morning he has another vision, and the witches are like, hey, you've gotta, kill the other witness. Yeah, they got to kill Banquo and Fleance. I love it. It's just so good. It's like, and you will become king, but there's going to be more bloodshed. So now he has to fight Malcolm, Duncan's son.
I know, it's just like one thing after another after another. He's
exactly.
Just like, it's just a mess.
It keeps coming, and you're like, dude, like, stop. You need to stop right now. And he kept going. And then Malcolm's like, okay, we got to get back. Poor Macduff and his whole family gets it just keeps tumbling. It's like one domino after the next. And it is so good. I love this movie. So great moments. Like one of the greatest like show don't tell is literally when he like loses his crown while he's fighting. He's fighting Macduff.
And he picks it back up.
He loses his crown and then he like literally has to go and pick it up and then gets slit and like dies. Like
does he
literally
get
trying to reach for the crown.
decapitated or
I
just
missed that, and
throat
I had to go back because I was like, wait, how did he lose his crown? I'm like, oh, his freaking face got cut in half.
Yeah, dude, he got freaking slashed. But then he like goes and reaches for the crown. You're like, forget the crown. You are literally engaged in a battle with someone. But see, that is such a good, like that absolute just consumed with the lust of power. He just reaches for the crown rather than fight his foe. Mind you, he's fighting him without a sword was the freaking coolest thing. When what's his face first comes to him, was it Macduff or no? It was the first one he fights with was Lennox, right? I can't remember if it was Lennox or Macduff.
Heavy lies the crown.
Or Ross. I can't remember who was it that fought. No, because it wasn't Ross. He never fought. So yeah, he fights with he fights with Macduff, right? And again, yeah, he heavy lies the crown. Was that
Departed.
Irishman or Departed? Yeah, Jack Nicholson. But he's like reaching for the crown while he's still engaged in battle, and I just love that visual where he can't like let it go now, right? He's so consumed with that. He's like reaching for the crown, having that crown in his hand and in his possession and on his head. It's like the ring, right? Like from Lord of the Rings. I love it.
Well,
Just totally
it's so
consumed.
interesting.
It was a
These
great
people
visual.
with power. Now I'm thinking of Departed, but just thinking of Jack Nicholson, like he had a chance to get out, and like they kept warning him. Matt Damon's like, stop. Like, you're gonna die. You're gonna get caught.
Lose the infantile! No, I was thinking of freaking Heat, dude. It's like,
yeah.
One more stop, It's like, just go.
Oh, I know. You're like, you are
Tragic
free
choice.
to go and escape with your girl. And he's like,
But
nah.
see, the problem is if he walked away, then he wouldn't have been able to walk away later and have a callback to being able to walk away in 30 seconds or less, or 10 seconds or less. Walk away from everything.
Can you walk away?
Anyway,
because Val Kilmer did it, so he walked away from his girl.
He did. Smart man.
Smart
See,
man,
he
dude.
lived.
Yeah.
And I was
Ever
so
after.
confused on the plot of that. I thought that was his was a boyfriend, but it's actually her husband. I'm an idiot. Anyway, woo, folks. Guys, another great thing. Yeah, you mentioned the crows and all that stuff, all the visuals. I just loved the trees, the leaves, the water, all the nature elements into this were so good. The crossroads, unbelievably cool, with the little castle in the middle where the witch is always hanging out. You caught that the witch was also the guy caring for Fleance at the end, right? That was the witch, the actor or actress playing as them. I thought that was so weird. Like, they use her, she has this full beard. It was almost like they did took a page out of the book of The Hook, you know? Glenn Close is the weird guy they put in the boombox. The pirate? Yes, I did. The one that doubted Hook, and he puts her in the boombox with the scorpions. That's Glenn Close,
That movie
guys.
gives me the creeps, bro.
Just saying. I don't know why Steven Spielberg thought
I don't like that movie.
You don't like Hook? What the hell's the matter with
Classic.
you?
Dude, it used to
You
scare
don't like
me as
Hook?
a kid.
Well, just because because it's great.
Boo!
Boo! Or freaking when the kids' covers come flying off of kids get kidnapped, and then the nanny's like, "Dude, the children are screaming!" I can't understand why you'd be scared of that, Cameron.
I used to be scared of that. I was scared of Princess Bride forever too, and also the never-ending
What,
story.
the Shrieking Eels? What was scary of Princess Bride?
The
Giant,
shrieking eels.
enormous rodents of unusual size? I don't
And the
think so.
torture scenes scared the shiz out of me.
And the lady, boo!
Not to 50!
Yeah.
Dude, why are we not talking Princess Bride right now, dude?
No, we should be talking about the never-ending story and why it's the greatest horror movie of all time.
Her cheeks!
Yeah, dude, that scene and the scene when they have to walk by like the things, even if you're not worried, you just get lasered and epic die.
I like children. For breakfast?
Yeah, like
Scratch his
creepy
ear.
AF.
Guys, I gotta say, so I absolutely love the black and white. It was a great choice. The deaths in this
Yeah.
surprised me. I forgot all about the tragedy of Macbeth. I forgot all about his whole Macduff, I
one-
should say. It's tragedy. It's so sad.
The one nitpick, I don't know if it'll get canceled for this. I just didn't know. I'm like, is there black people in this? Like, I was like, did they make it black and white so I wouldn't know Denzel Washington's black, or like what's going on?
No, I mean, well, it's fun. I totally forgot about race and all of this because in the end, it doesn't matter to me. I thought it was well told. I hear what you're saying in the well, actually, I don't know what you're saying. You're saying you
They
can't
didn't
tell black
shoot
and
it
white
on
people apart
film,
if
did
it's
they,
black
Ty?
and white?
Because the aspect ratio was cut on the sides. Did they film it with old school film like Lighthouse or not? Probably should have looked that up. Because I noticed they had cropped it to make it look like it was an old film.
I'm gonna have to ask you to explain one more time. I didn't understand what you just said. You're saying you can't tell people that are black and white from black and white film?
No, I was saying like were they trying? I thought that was maybe one of the reasons that they did black and white. Because like I know that there wasn't like black kings back then, right? Like not in Scotland at least.
I also, Cameron, thought it was interesting that they chose Denzel Washington for a really old play. As a modern thing.
And then there's also like another lord who is black, where I'm like, I don't know if that's historically accurate. I'm not the biggest nitpick of that because I don't really give a fudge about history or like literature history. But I just thought that I'm like, is that actually true? I was just curious because I'm like, did they actually have like black kings or whatever back then? But I don't know.
Well, that's just everyone here listening. That's our white privilege. We don't know any black kings. If you guys know black kings, write in. Maybe ones that didn't own slaves. Okay, looking at you, Africa.
And his name
please
can't be
don't send in those
King
kings that own
T'Challa.
slaves.
Excluding King
We
T'Challa.
need black kings that are woke. Okay, so only send in black kings that abhor slavery and didn't. They weren't conquistadors
I did have a question.
and they didn't
That mom-
colonize.
Ty, that mom, now that we're talking about black people, that mom, when she was talking to her little child, did they write that into the script? Because that felt very not Shakespeare. Because I understood everything they were saying. It seemed very, maybe it was just...
You understood the lingo that the child spoke. That's good, Jordan. That's good. That's spoken simply for the child to
I'm
understand.
right there with you, Jordan. That was like the one scene where I'm like, I understand every word that is coming out of this interaction.
I would argue that the Macduff's son is not the best actor I've seen, but having said that, it was horrifying watching him being thrown off.
Of course. That's what I wondered, Ty. Did they add that line in?
I was not expecting that. I was expecting him to like
a little egg
stab or something. You just launched him.
I was not expecting that. But I was wondering did they add in that line of dialogue so we could feel something for when the kid was thrown over the edge?
I mean,
'Cause it didn't-
probably
It didn't feel like it was Shakespeare at all, because they threw in a few these and thous, but it was honestly just, it sounded like modern day lingo.
Well, what was it that they discussed? He's like, what if, he's like, honest people, was he a traitor, right? Was dad a traitor? And it's like, yes, he was. And then it's like, okay, well, if he
Like,
was a traitor.
traitor?
It's like, yes.
Oh my god.
So
And then it turned into
it's like,
Boys in the Hood.
what if all
Part
the
3.
dishonest people, no, because he goes, so liars or traitors or whatever, and she's like, yes, a traitor is someone that lies. And he's like, well, it's like, so what if all the people that are traitors, there are more liars in the world than honest people, so what if all the liars took all the honest people and
Oh my
killed
gosh,
them?
I would have loved this
great.
movie if halfway through,
great.
all of a sudden it turned into Boys in the Hood Part 3, guys busting in with guns, and they're just like, bam, bam. It'd be so funny.
Great, dude.
Oh, that'd be awesome. It would be way better than...
The whole house murdered. It was just insane. It was insane. But yeah, Lady Macduff and her son. I mean, like you said, I don't remember the book well enough to say like that scene was specifically in there. But yeah, maybe that scene was added for that. I still like the kid. I think his dialogue lines were fine.
It just felt out of place.
Yeah. I don't know if, again, this whole house was out of place.
Why,
Like,
Jordan?
what is
'Cause
he
he's
doing
black?
here? What are these people? It seemed out of place.
Something's wrong
So-
with this scene.
We're so gonna get canceled. Oh my god.
No, see, because I liked Ross appearing. Like he was there briefly, and then he went off to go find Macduff, and I was like, yeah, your family's dead. I'm sorry.
What is he from? Oh, what's the actor's name?
Corey
Where's he from?
Hawkins, Macduff, the guy that gets revenge, his family and wife killed.
Yeah.
But he was in Kong Skull Island. He was in Straight Outta Compton.
Oh,
he was in The
yeah.
Heights. He was
That's
in
what I think I
Black
recognize him
Klansman.
from.
Yeah.
From all those movies.
He's in all those movies. Well, King Kong, I don't know. Kong Skull Island.
Yeah,
was a movie.
I saw Kong Skull Island. That was trash, but
What? I love Kong Skull Island.
The
Is
more
that
I
Henry
think
Weingart,
about
or
it,
who was
like
that?
I might like it on a rewatch.
Who did Kong Skull Island? Who was that? Was that Weingart? No, who was it? I can't remember. I'll think of the name in a second. Oh, Jordan Voight Roberts. What the freak? Who's that? What else did Jordan Voight Roberts do, though? He did something else I watched. Oh, he did Kings of Summer. See, that's what I remember. Kings of Summer, John Voight Roberts. I keep forgetting his
hey,
name.
I watched that today.
Jordan Voight Roberts. Vought Roberts? Jeez, I'm going to call him Jordan Roberts from now on.
Yeah, he's good at
Jordan
making
Roberts,
great
King of Summer.
visuals. I'll give him that.
Yeah, it's a great movie. But anyway, I just thought it was funny that you mentioned that. So yes,
And he must have the best
Hawk-
networking skills in Hollywood ever, because every single one of his movies has 15,000 amazing actors in it. Ty, did you watch Kings
Yeah,
of Summer?
holy-
All the
Kings of
cameos
Summer,
and King
the
of Skull
cast
Island?
is
Let me explain
unreal.
something to you guys real quick. If you have a good script and you're a good director, I think the actors line themselves up to work.
But
with you.
Kong
No,
Skull
but-
Island
no,
wasn't
but
exactly a beautiful script, Ty.
I freaking loved Kong Skull Island. Where is this? Where are you guys getting off? Samuel Jackson was amazing. Tom Hiddleston was charming as Brie Larson
thought the
was
overall
trash.
plot was dumb as
and
shit.
everything that I loved. What?
The overall plot just made no sense.
The overall plot made no sense. You mean like dropping bombs to understand the telekinetic energy of the land? That didn't make
Yeah.
sense to you? Come on, Cameron.
I
It's
was
just
like,
science. Why don't you follow the science? You climate denier. You science denier. You idiot.
Well, it's the same as
Long
James Gunn. I feel
Schwarzenegger?
like he just, people loved his
Screw your
work.
freedom. All right, guys. That's a real thing that he said. Screw your freedom. Let's do my two favorite things. I've already mentioned a lot of them, but it's amazing. The visuals, the power. It's all good. It's all good things. Do you guys have any nitpicks? You guys have anything funny? You already mentioned the one scene you didn't feel like it belonged because
Well, also,
Cameron
yeah, and
didn't. Cameron and Jordan didn't like the whole black, family. He's like, who are these kids? Who are these? Who are these folks? Cameron's like, I don't know who's a black actor and who's a white actor. Can you put the movie in color so I can tell?
I was saying I thought it was funny because I was like, are they doing this in black and white so I don't notice that Denzel Washington is black? I'm like,
I don't
obviously
understand that reasoning. I don't understand that. Again, I mean,
Cameron's messing with you, Ty.
I know. I think he
Aren't
is.
you? I don't know. Now I'm like
I don't
concerned.
See, I'm like, you're like, why? I don't understand. I'm not even going to try to understand. I love you, Cameron. I gave you another
You guys
reason
are
to explain.
funny. I'm literally just explaining that I don't think it's like historically accurate that like these kings were black, and I don't mind that they're having a black person portray them, but I just thought it was funny because I was saying, oh, did they do it in black and white so I wouldn't notice that there's black people as the king, because like obviously I know Denzel Washington is black. That's what it was, literally a joke.
Got it. Well, there you go,
You guys
folks.
mistake
Karen, wildly
me
insensitive.
for a racist. You guys are like, oh, you had a problem that there was black people in this movie? I'm like, how
Well,
did you
I
get
just
that from what I said?
I did understand when you were like, maybe they chose to do it black and white to hide the fact. I'm like, can you not tell who's black and white in a black and white film, Cameron?
A good
I don't
example is
Obviously, you
making
can.
Dunkirk like historically accurate. They had all these men and all these girls are complaining that there's not enough women, and
not
they made it
enough blacks,
historically
too.
Yeah,
accurate.
there weren't enough pregnant women storming the beach on
That's
Dunkirk.
what I'm
Yes,
saying.
I totally agree. There
Okay,
should have been
but,
more disabled
same-
actors on the beach there too,
Ty,
in their
okay,
wheelchairs.
you understand that? Now think about this movie. History hasn't
Yeah.
shown a lot of black people in the same positions.
King.
I understand everything. What I'm saying is Cameron saying, did they put the movie in black and white so I
That's
would
like
know
the one
Denzel
thing you're
Washington
getting
is
caught
black?
up.
That's what he said. That's what you said, right? I don't understand when you're
As
like,
a joke. Like, who would it be able
He was
one, who would it
Cameron
be
was
able to
getting
notice
that the actual point was history having black people as kings.
Yes, and I was saying, were they
I
doing
still
that
don't
to
understand
try-
why the movie in black and white makes a difference, though.
Yeah, Cameron was making kind of a joke there, but I don't
Yes, because I was saying, oh, they're tricking us by saying, oh, well, you don't know if he's black or white, you know? Like, it was a fetching joke. Holy shiz. Obviously, you can tell because he'll have darker skin even in black and white, dude. Gosh, you're so
Listen,
dumb.
Thank you for explaining comedy to me because I didn't get it. I just didn't get it. I just was freaking confused. But thanks for explaining it, Cameron. So I love the idea that we're going to move on. Let's go to the next thing.
Special needs.
Do we
Special
recommend
needs.
it? If you like Shakespeare,
Yeah, if
If
you
you're
like
okay
literature,
with black people,
if you don't mind listening, if you enjoyed High School English, then you'll love this.
watch this movie, everybody, please. This is an amazing film. And regardless if it's black and white and you can tell the ethnicity or race of your actors, it's still a good movie.
I don't know how I'm gonna edit this. Oh, jeez.
I don't think you can.
Just
No,
delete it all.
no, don't take out the
Just
part where I
throw
didn't
it
understand
out.
his joke. That's what's funny. I'm like,
No, my
it's a mail
gosh.
plane because of it's great. Here's Cameron. Can't tell if he's black because it's a black and white.
Oh my gosh.
I love you so much, Cameron, dude. I'm having so much fun.
What have you seen, Ty, lately? What are you looking forward to?
What have I seen? What have I seen? Oh, I watched Wizard of... Okay, so I tried to watch Hotel Transylvania 4, and it was insulting my kids'
a
intelligence. Yeah. Well, it says it's #1 movie
Adam
streaming in
Sandler
America.
insulting your kids, Ty?
It's not even Adam Sandler, dude. He didn't even come back. But David Spade and Andy Samberg and Selena Gomez all came back. But not even, like, Kevin James or Adam Sandler came back for this movie. That's how bad this is. But it insulted my kids' to intelligence, so they stopped watching it. So we put on Wizard of Oz. And this movie kicked, like... My kids love
So
Wizard of
good.
Oz.
So
They
good.
love Scarecrow. They thought he was so funny. Great movie. Watch Wizard of Oz, everybody. My daughter's 3.5, almost 4, and she loved it. So that's a good age. She was scared of the witch, and I was like, yeah, sometimes in life there's a lot of witches you have to deal with. Just drop a house on them, move on. Drop a house, break the wrist, walk away. It's great. So Wizard of Oz was a great fun. And Hotel Transylvania, #1 movie in America. More like #1 movie
Oh, it already hurts me. I already know
that
it's
people
bad.
started and turned off.
Yeah, there you go.
What's that?
I was just preparing for your terrible pun.
That's not a pun. I'm saying most people probably turn this movie on and turn it off in the first 10 minutes. That's my point. Is like streaming is like #1 in the movie in America. And I'm like, what does that mean? It means most people tuned in to see what it was about and then instantly canceled their Amazon Prime subscriptions. Because they were like, this is abhorrent. It's insulting my kids' intelligence. I found
I'm
it.
being scammed.
Dude, speaking
Yes.
of Amazon Prime and Translucent, dude, did you see the teaser for Boys Season 3?
Translucent? Do you mean transparent?
No.
Or wait,
Maybe
what
it's
movie?
translucent.
The Boys Season
Boys.
3 teaser?
Oh, there's a...
It's just a
there's
teaser. All it is them taking pictures of Homelander, and he's like smiling, and he's like twitching. It's so good.
Oh my gosh, dude, I love it. See, I love
Talk
that.
about, dude,
I love
season
that.
3 ended insane.
Yeah.
Was it season 3? I thought it was season 2. Is there 3 seasons already?
No, there's 2 seasons. They're making a third.
They're on the third
Oh,
one, yeah.
so, dang it.
Yeah.
Man, it's been forever since they released that. We need some
Would it help,
more.
Cameron, if the movie was in black and white?
Wait, let me say what I've watched recently because Ty has Down syndrome.
do it.
So I watched Kings of Summer today, which is so fun. Reminds me kind of Mud mixed with Mirror on the Dying Girl.
And Cameron, you relate so much to the character, so that's why I was shocked you didn't love it more. I mean, maybe it strikes too close to home.
Yeah, maybe a little too close to home. With Joe with his terrible relationship with his dad, and Nick Offerman being a very close representation of dad. And then
Ty, doesn't the little skinny kid remind you of Aaron so much?
Yes,
It is literally the
Biagio.
embodiment of Aaron, yes. Yeah. when the snake bites him, I cried laughing so hard, dude. Just like he's like ready to poise to strike, and then the snake just sucks out his freaking leg or whatever. Oh, made me. I was
So
crying
good.
laughing.
And then I watched. I finally finished Mindhunter. The beginning of the first season is 10 out of 10. Then it kind of trails off in the middle.
That's because
to, like, 8
David
out of
Fincher
10.
directed
And then it
those
kinda-
first couple episodes, and then he didn't.
No,
do
but
the
then
rest.
Jordan, he directs every. He directs. Yes, he did. He did some other episodes later in the season. Cheap.
Well, like the final two or something.
Yeah, and then he did like a couple of season 2 as well. But
Are you sure it wasn't a producer? Maybe he did direct too.
I think he just produced most of it, but
no, directed. I watched it and it said directed by David Fincher. Nerds. Gosh.
Well, they say that like in House of Cards, like what was his name? Fincher. Like
Oh
it said
my
like
gosh.
executive.
Anyway.
Maybe I don't know.
Anyway, that I was really good. I just love serial killers. I think I have a problem. And then I started watching some of Dexter. Just about to finish the first episode. Pretty good. It's kind of cheesy, which I feel like they're kind of going for
it's
that.
campy, very campy.
Yeah, which I'm like.
Wait, but no
I'm
one
trying
knows
to-
what
I'm
that
trying to
word
decide
means.
if I like-
Can you use a different word, Jordan? Now
which
you
I
adopted
kinda-
the word. See,
I
you
took it
say
from
the
you.
word campy. Okay, but I swear you've used it before. Then
No,
Steve,
okay.
there's a guy that dresses like a pirate on our team. That's you, Jordan.
No, I heard it from a lot of like
Hey, look, it's Steve the
episodes.
pirate. It's campy.
I heard
You
it
know
from
what that
Red
word
Letter
means?
Media
Shush,
and
okay.
other people.
Anyway, yeah, I'm kind of just trying to decide if I like love it because I'm usually like the darker. I think that's why I enjoyed Mindhunter so much. It was like I got like tidbits of like Zodiac into a TV show, which I'm like, oh, this is like Zodiac, and then it would go back to being like not Zodiac, and I was like, oh, dang. But I just love serial killers. Dude. They're so freaking interesting. I just love the psychology behind them. And then I also started watching with my girlfriend a little bit of White Collar. I fetch and love that show. Oh, so good. And then watched an episode of the Ted Bundy tapes.
Right on. Was that Grant's suggestion with the Ted Bundy? Because you hadn't watched it before, right?
No, I suggested it to Grant.
Oh, that's right. Well, the wicked, terrible, whatever
Yeah, I
movie with
suggested
Zac
that to him.
Efron.
Yeah, that one was
And
really
then
good.
you went and watched the Bundy tapes on Grant's recommendation, right? Or I guess
No.
Grant took your recommendation, then he ran and watched the Bundy tapes, and then now you're watching it, or are you rewatching it?
No, so I watched the like Shockingly Evil and Wicked
Yeah.
thing first, and then I started watching the Ted Bundy tapes, and then I told Grant about it, and then he started watching both.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. Just got to throw out
And
there.
then-
I don't know if I mentioned it. Denzel Washington fighting without a sword. That was freaking awesome. I just wanted to say
That was so dope. That fighting scene was
in
insane.
this movie was freaking dope. I forgot to mention that, and I was like, oh, it was so exciting watching him, and then pulling out the dagger at the end, stabbing everybody. Freaking awesome.
But yeah, I saw the Moon Knight trailer. It looks pretty dope. And then C for me looks pretty dope. Kimmy looks pretty dope too.
Don't know any of that. Yeah, if you see trailers, please text them on the podcast. I want to see
If they're
upcoming
good
movies. And trash. I want to see all the trashy trailers. No, show me the good
Like
stuff.
Morbius.
Oh, Ty,
Yeah, dude.
speaking of Malignant, Ty,
Or the new fetching like 007 Girls, the 355. Oh my
I don't know.
gosh.
I thought I heard good things, but I can't remember if that was
Nope.
just no.
Looks stupid
Actually,
as
no.
frick.
Look it up. It got super crappy critics, and it was good audience. So as far as I know, it's like a straightforward like not girl power, but like girls using whatever tools they have at their disposal, and it's good. Apparently, I don't know because it wasn't woke enough. It wasn't like we're powerful women. It's just like it's hard being a woman, and I'm gonna do the best I can to take your A down, even though I can't beat you in a fight. I don't know, something like that. Someone was telling me, and then like bad critics, good audience makes me more open to see it. You know, 'Cause
Yeah,
when you
I'm
get the
actually more
Charlie's Angels
interested,
that are like
because
woke
critics
women,
lately have been if you have a
it's all over the
message-
place. It's all over the
Yeah, it's a mess.
it needs to be a propagandist piece that is for the establishment and for women,
Or it'll be
and
another Green Knight.
the transgenderism,
Dude.
or whatever the Green Knight was.
I've seen so many like movie reviewers and stuff like that said that there was like that was their number 1 or 2 favorite movie of the year.
I know,
I'm
but the
like,
more I think about it, I'm like, oh no, I'm thinking about it a lot. Do I like it?
Here's the thing. In my old age now, I like movies that I think about after I watch them, and I don't spend more than 2 farts after I watched Hawkeye on Disney Plus.
Ugh.
Okay,
Or any
but I think about the Tragedy of Macbeth
of the Disney shows.
constantly. I'm thinking about the Tragedy of Macbeth constantly, and I'm like, everyone needs to see this. This is an amazing film. So yeah, but pick your poison, because like I like dumb movies. We reviewed plenty of them on the pod, but
The Cube series.
you said it, not me.
I love
Oh
Cube.
my gosh.
I don't think I've
we
ever-
know.
I've met very few people that like Good Burger. I'm like, had to grown up on it.
You just need new friends, Cameron. Anything else you've seen?
Well, that probably explains why we love Mitchell vs. the Machines, because we like Nickelodeon shows and movies. Because I was listening to a lot of other critics, and they were not loving Mitchell vs. the Machines. At least YMS wasn't. I was just surprised.
Wow,
But
what was he saying about it?
Guy's an a-hole. He makes his entire YouTube channel off of hating things. So, I mean, your movies suck. I mean, it's like, here's one movie that I like, and then all the other movies he dislikes. It's like, there you go. That's his
He's got some
gimmick.
good recommendations, though.
Well, and you know what's funny about that? Like, I thought about his channel a lot. Like, I don't watch it much anymore. I do like to know when he has recommendations, or when he keeps an eye out for, like, directors that I do like, that finally come out with the second or third movie, and I'm like, oh, Craig Zeller has a movie, or, Robert Eggers.
Dude.
Definitely go check him out.
I think you guys should watch Beta Test, maybe. Oh, just skip 2 scenes.
Yeah, whatever. I really like
Jim Cummings, come on.
I like Jim Cummings. I think he's great. But again, sometimes I'm like,
Can't be
I don't
better
know if
than
it's going to be.
Wolf Hollow.
Yeah.
It's not. But there's some scenes, and I think you guys will just. I just want to hear your thoughts, is all.
Then just send us the scenes, dude. You know us, dude. Just send us the scenes and be like, oh, that actually looks like a movie.
It's not as. It's just not as. It doesn't pack as powerful a punch.
Not unless you sit through the whole 2 hour and 30-minute movie.
Yeah,
It really packs a
that's how I
punch.
felt. That's how I felt like with Thunder Road. There was just scenes where I'm like, I know this is amazing acting and super emotional, but I'm like, but was it worth an hour and 45 minutes for me to?
It's
get
like
to
it's like Cameron watching the Macbeth. He wakes up after an hour and 30 minutes, watches a black kid get thrown into a burst of flame, and he's like, wait, what's going on? I don't understand this kid. I don't get it. Am I supposed to care about this kid?
But I can't tell. Is he black? Because it's
Is he
black and
black? I can't tell. Oh my gosh. Was he slow? Was he black?
white. What was he slow?
Was he slow?
Was he slow?
Was he black?
Retarded means slow. Was he slow?
Retarded means
Was
slow.
he slow?
I know. Bless Kevin Spacey. Who knew that it wasn't saying on this movie? It just happened to be that he was.
Ty,
crazy.
another movie I recommend to you is Haunt.
Holy shiz, Todd.
Or I guess he was. I don't remember what it was.
That's gonna
Was he
always
Patrick
lead-
Swayze in that movie, right? They made a documentary about him called
No one cares.
Jake Gyllenhaal, Donnie Darko. What were we saying, Jordan?
Okay, I recommend 3 movies. Haunt.
What?
I just bought Malignant.
Oh, well, there you go. We haven't seen it. Let's watch it, and we should probably discuss it on the pod. I've
If
heard
it's good,
insane.
I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think it's going to be good. So keep your expectations low, and maybe you'll enjoy it. I've heard it's terrible.
Ty, you need to watch a movie called Haunt. It's fun.
Oh, we talked about this one, right?
fun.
It was on my watch list for a while, but then it kind of fell away. So I'll watch it. The
Yeah.
Haunt.
Do that instead of Tragedy
Hey.
of Macbeth.
I like how you called it fun. Like, yeah, the movie Haunt. There's nothing like word haunt to bring me so much excitement and joy.
Well, it's
and
not
fun.
about demons or anything.
Oh, okay. Well,
You know
now
what
I'm
I kind of
interested.
want to.
Why is it
You
called
know what I
Haunt?
kind of want to do?
Because it's haunted house, but the rest of the words are faded.
How would you guys feel about?
I'm so confused. What were you saying, Kim?
Watch a trailer. I'll send you a trailer.
I'm thinking either Upgrade or Wind River for next week.
Ooh.
We already did upgrade on the podcast.
We did
Cameron,
upgrade,
you
though.
Moron.
Oh, we did. I was okay.
Oh,
then-
you weren't on the pod, were you?
I think he was.
yeah, I was.
Then you are as big of an
Oh,
idiot as I
then
give you credit for.
let's do Wind River or Fury. I kind of want to do Fury to force you guys to rewatch it and freaking appreciate it.
Oh,
Are we not doing what was it? 15
Kings of
season
Summer.
of Kings of
Cameron
Summer.
doesn't
Yeah.
want to do it.
Hey, no worries, Cameron. You're just an idiot for not liking Kings of Summer as much as I did, but it's fine. We don't judge you for not understanding a film. Some things just go over your head. That's okay. Kings of Summer is a coming-of-age movie that literally defines your childhood and my childhood and everyone's childhood.
Okay,
growing
well,
up,
the
but
other
no.
day, Cameron's like, "Can we do Hunt for the Wilder People on the podcast?" I'm like,
I did not say that.
"You did say that to me. You asked."
That's okay. He probably meant
did
something
not.
else by, he's probably talking about Scarlett Johansson's best performance. He's like, can we do that? The documentary on the
Jojo
greatest actress of
Rabbit?
all time?
No.
Mind you, I just heard somewhere that, who was it?
Dude, the first
Emily
25
Blunt
the fir-
almost did Black Widow. Could you imagine a world where Emily Blunt is Black Widow?
Dude, the first
and
25
Scarlett Johansson is nobody. That
the
would be an interesting universe.
The first 25 minutes of Kings of Summer is a 10 out of 10. Dude, those parents are just so painful. That's the most accurate depiction, especially being the only child at home. Like just you chose the blue shirt today. Oh, no, with the no pocket. Oh, okay. And it's just like, he's like, do you not have anything else better to do?
I just want to say for all of our listeners out there that are still listening, we haven't horribly offended you. What else could I say? Write in the comments, how else could we offend you? Is there some way we can bring this podcast and make you type "it suck" every single episode? I want to see this. It suck, guys. But don't worry. We heard your pleas. We will never bring Kevin back onto the podcast, okay? So we understand you clearly.
No, we're definitely bringing Kevin back on
heard
because
you.
both his episodes were our most listened to episodes.
Not the most listened to. Folks, we've hit 10,000, was it? Yay! And I just want everyone to know their search history was, how do I find Big Trouble in Little China full-length movie? And that... Somehow our video is just blowing up right now. So we're very sorry if you were looking for a pirated, illegal copy of the movie. Instead, you found 3 white guys talking about movies.
And then
on
people
their
start
podcast.
commenting, "Where's the movie?" Or I like the guy that's like, "Too many words. Where's the movie?"
Words. Too many words. Where's the movie? There is no movie. This is a podcast. This is a
Gosh. Okay, yeah, we'll do Wind River next week.
Wind River. Okay, everybody, stay tuned. Next week will be Wind River. And this has been Futro Hidden Movie Gems. Leave us an email. Leave us a 5-star review. Leave us a comment, because we'll read it here on the podcast. And if it's negative, it'll most likely be read. If it's positive, we probably won't read it. So, everybody, take it easy. Stay safe, freaks and geeks of the internet. We love you so much. We love you dearly. This is Futro Hidden Movie
Send
Gems.
us an email unless you're our mother.
Yes. Mom, you're forbidden from writing into the email anymore. No more. FuturoMovies@gmail.com. Check us out on Patreon, Spotify. What are the other ones? Facebook and Instagram. All right, guys. This is Futuro Hidden Movie Gem signing out. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.
But what, I beseech you, betray thee, my lips, mine eyes, the breast of thy head, and head fall weary with sighs. I don't know. Bye.